Hey my lovelies, and welcome back to Beck Square Gaming. This is Scottish Bex, and we're going to be doing some more Ship Graveyard Simulator 2. We're going to pick up with the Titan again and continue on. This should be part 2, and we're just going to go from where we left off. Okay, time to continue on. So I took a break between the last minute you saw and this minute. It's actually been a couple of days. What I realised was I also realised I had forgotten to turn my graphics settings back up after the Zeppelin. So I have done that, and you can see it looks a bit better. I was going to check physics. Right, so I have put it back to pretty good settings that it was on, because my computer should be able to handle pretty high settings. There was just, because it has been before, it's been epic top level settings, so I don't understand why the Zeppelin seemed to have so many problems. But from what one of the viewers said, that is a known issue with that particular ship, so maybe some kind of memory drain or something, I don't know. But anyways, we're back to doing the Titan. So where did we get to? I had been emptying these floors because I was going to drop them all, wasn't I? And I think I had done like the majority of the floors. I think I was working on, yes, I was working on this level maybe. I don't think this level, I think it's the next one down for the next bit, and the big tower pieces in the middle. It's not that bloody bit, apparently. Oh, maybe I haven't finished emptying it all. I thought I had. I thought I took a break after I'd finished emptying. Unless I just particularly missed this bathroom. Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, I was gonna say, I was pretty sure I'd done this. That was supposed to be the whole point. I finished emptying the floor. And then took a break. Which was meant to be a day and then ended up being much more. I don't think I've done this level, which was the next level I need to do. Because I need to empty this one, because this is deck level, and then I was going to drop it all to this level. So let's go through and empty this first. Yeah, let's do that. So I'm thinking about doing a, I don't know how you guys would feel about a power wash simulator series. Because I'm kind of enjoying these sort of dismantling, cleaning, organizing games. And to be fair, they do get a lot of sort of views. It seems to be what the main followers of this channel do seem to like. I know we do have some 7 days followers and things, and we haven't played that in a while. We will get back to that. That, I was a bit burnt out with that, both myself and American Bex, and we were kind of giving it a bit of a breather, because that's kind of what we do. We play it for a bit, and then we take a breather from it, and then we go back to it. And I think it's mainly so we don't get to the stage that it just feels like continuously the same thing. Because the problem with 7 days is it's great fun, but once you know how to play it, it is the same thing over and over. Now, the argument could be, so is this. You know, but it's not, in the sense of we're seeing different ships and that kind of thing. So every one I do, I'm doing a different vessel, which is new and new things. There's only so many POIs in 7 days. And yeah, I like to let a bit of new stuff come out before I kind of get into it. So that kind of idea. So I've been thinking about what to do after this series. Now, there is a Ship Graveyard Simulator 3 due to be coming out, but I'm not sure when that's coming out. I know it's been announced, but when that comes out, I don't know. So it might be, this series might be finished long before then. It might, I mean, we still got sort of a good 6 or 7 ships still to do. We still got the 4, because this is the last in the same ship. We still got the 4 fishing boats to do, and we've still got what else have we got? So we've still got the 4 fishing boats to do, and we still got the contrabando to do, and we still got the U-boat to do. And there might be stuff that comes out before then. Unlikely to be another expansion or like bonus ship before then. But that's still 6, so that's still equivalent after this week. That's, so including this one, that's still 7 weeks worth of videos. So by the time you're seeing this, it's another 6 weeks worth of videos. So I kind of want to start thinking, what am I doing next? You know, it's common sense. I've already done hard space shipbreaker, so I need to think about what comes next, what to do next. I am thinking of doing, I don't know whether to do a few more of the simulator games, like Timberborn, Aftermath. I think Endzone 2 came out, but although Endzone 2, the studio has now shut down, hasn't it? So unfortunately, even though it came out, it's now no longer going to be getting any work done on it. What else have we got? Yeah, or I want to see if I can find another one like this, because I actually do kind of like these ones. These are kind of neat. I kind of like these dismantling ones. I have played a few other dismantling games, though, that don't quite scratch that itch. There's something about the way this one does that really does scratch an itch, and that's why I like this one so much, I think. So I don't know. I need to think about it. I'd be really tempted to do another hard space run and do things that I didn't do. So, like, try get all the ghost stuff completed. Do the opposite of the industrial action. So, you know, go against what I would instinctively do. You know, so, you know, yeah, things like that. Get the other achievements that I didn't get, but this time maybe do it with the oxygen drain on, because I didn't have the oxygen drain on last time, because I wanted a more relaxed playthrough, because I've never played it before. So yeah, I mean, there's those options. Like I say, the other one that's kind of bouncing around in my head is Power Simulator, Power Wash Simulator. I think we streamed some of the Power Wash Simulator previously on Twitch, and but Power Wash Simulator 2 has come out, and I haven't done that yet, and I was thinking about something like that. Or House Flipper. I think House Flipper could be fun. I know House Flipper 2, again, we streamed a small amount of it. I streamed a small amount of it. I don't know. I keep umming and ahhing, and it's not just about what I think you guys will like. It's also about what I actually want to play. That's not gonna lie, that feeds into it a little bit as well. I've heard Star Rupture's supposed to be really, really good in terms of like logistical building games. I do like builder games. I really like, particularly ones that are based around logisticals. One of my favorite chill out games is Factory Town, and they actually released a Factory Town sort of logistical version of that game, where you're not actually building the stuff, it's literally just logistic screens and you're doing it. I'm not gonna lie, guys, boring to watch, but for me to play was like, oh, it was a dream. I loved it. But you're literally just looking at logistic screens. It's not exactly I think I streamed it once just to show people what I was playing. The other thing that we're going to be doing very soon is we're going to be starting some live streams here on YouTube. Not sure what times are going to be on that. That's probably going to be at the earliest end of April. But it is something we're looking to do. Now, that shouldn't impact daily videos, so things like this. So what I might end up doing is things like Timberborn and stuff from a live stream, because, you know, I don't want to be doing live stream of something that requires extreme focus, because then I don't have the ability to look at the chat and have, because the whole point of the live stream is interaction. It's not just about playing and entertaining, it's about interaction and being able to interact with you guys live, and that would be the idea. I mean, I'm not saying it necessarily everybody's going to watch those, but I would still make sure that our sort of regular videos are up as well. Again, it's going to be towards the end, at the earliest towards the end of April, because I need to keep getting all my ducks in a row first, and once I've got that sorted, I can go forward from there. I just think it's also to help us try grow the channel. I'm not going to sit here and be like, you know, oh, I'm quite happy leaving it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like, you know, the way things are. I like the interaction we have with you guys, and obviously I don't want to lose that. But for obvious reasons, it would be nice to grow the channel a little bit. It would be really great to try get to the 1,000 subs. And I know that that's going to take time and all these other things. And we've been doing this for over a year now. We might be doing it. Have we been doing it for 2 hours? The channel was set up long before we actually started releasing videos, because we set it up when we set up our Twitch, but we started on Twitch. So we just kind of uploaded like to YouTube as like a holder, because Twitch, unless you were at a certain level, Twitch didn't retain your videos. So we kind of set up the YouTube channel to be like a video dump initially to hold our videos, rather than being specifically a YouTube channel, if that makes any sense. It was kind of our way of holding on to our data. But then we started getting hits on the YouTube channel, and actually we preferred doing it that way, especially because just with the hours that we both work and other things, and you know, other commitments. You know, I had at the time other people were in the house, and you know, it was making it more difficult. You know, like I had sold my flat and moved in with my parents for a short while I was organising a new place, and you know, people wandering around, lots of other noises, and yeah, so it wasn't. There would be times that, you know, you'd have to cut stuff out, and it was kind of hard to do. You can't really do that on a live stream. I mean, you can mute your mic and stuff, but then not only that, with the job that American Bex did, because we only ever got to live stream, which meant we had to always be available, which was not, you know, I could solo stream, but it was yeah. So when we were together, you know, she was on call, so she'd be getting phone calls, so we'd have to, you know, quickly pause the live stream, and yeah, it didn't give us as much control as singular videos did. So we decided that the YouTube concept of videos, where I could go in and edit, and especially when we were, our friends would join us, and we would do, for example, Drunk 7 Days. That was good fun. But obviously for people's privacy and things, when you've had a few to drink, you don't necessarily think about things you say, and by that I don't mean inappropriateness. I'm talking about, like, they might talk about one of their kids, and the streamers themselves don't necessarily want that information out about, you know, that people might know they have kids or whatever, but they don't really want, you know, that kind of thing. Or, you know, they might not even be streamers, and you know, you might be talking about the partner or something, and you kind of need to cut certain things out. And it wasn't because, like I say, when you've had a few to drink, you don't really think about what you're saying. So, and it just gave us that control. That's what we liked about the YouTube channel. It gave us control back over what we put out into the world, more for privacy purposes than because, you know, our friends, but you know, but we were thinking about it recently. We were talking about it recently that we don't do really that much streaming anymore, and we really kind of want to go back to that, but we don't want it to be the primary focus. We want the videos to still be our channel's primary focus, but with streaming a little bit sometimes for other games that necessarily I wouldn't put a video out for. So, for example, to allow some more interaction, you know, so, and there was a lot of thought around this, and that's what I think, but it's about getting it set up and working out a schedule for myself, because to be honest, a majority of that time will be myself, Scottish Bex, rather than both Scottish Bex and American Bex, but obviously there will be sometimes American Bex is free and will join us for that. So it's a bit hit and miss, guys, so we're just trying to work something out so that you get a semi-regular pattern, but I need to get that sorted. So I miss some of the live streaming. I miss the interactions when you're live streaming, you know, and the chaos, and sometimes the chaos that ensues from that can be fun, and I do miss that a little bit, and I want to do a bit more of that again. But like I said, our focus will be to stay with the videos, because that is our main sort of focal point. It's not going to become a permanent live stream only or anything like that. You know, the videos will always come before the live stream. That's a given. But it just allows content that doesn't necessarily make great set videos, but works really well for interactive purposes, like simulation games. You know, they're great. Like Timberborn's great for a show, but I mean, playing it online permanently, you know, it's better if that's a stream because then people are talking to you and interacting with you while you're playing the game. Whereas other games like Killing Floor, they're very hard to stream. I know people do it, but I find them hard to stream because you're too busy focused on staying alive to really be paying attention to the chat or being able to really interact with viewers. And I think at that point the video works best. So it's a kind of a mishmash to allow us to look at the contents that we're playing and kind of work around what works best. But yeah, so I'm thinking of something like a power simulator, but that again, I might save that for, I don't know, live streams. I don't know. I need to continue on with, and I want to get back to Horror Wednesday potentially as well, or at least a horror day in the week and get the Chila Art stuffs finished. I would like to finish working my way through that series. Yeah, there's a lot of sort of stuff in my head that's like, you know, this is kind of where I want to go. And I don't want to move too far away from the content that we do play. Well, one, because, you know, you guys are here because this is the content you want to see. And two, I like the games. I like these kind of games. I love these kind of games. These are great fun. These are when I'm doing a video, these are the games that I like doing because I can natter as I do them. And you know, anyone who doesn't accuse me of loving the sound of my own voice, that's fair. I mean, I do like to talk, don't I, guys? I do like to waffle. It's fine. I don't take offense at that in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, and you can, if you're doing crazy games. I mean, like, yeah, you can talk a little bit through Doom and things like that, but there's, yeah. I do want to do the Resident Evil 9 as well. I haven't done that yet. I haven't even got that yet. That's on my list. I really loved Resident Evil Village. It was gorgeous. It was gorgeous. And not everybody's cup of tea, but I want to play that, so I will probably record and stick that on the channel when I do. Yeah. So just lots of different thoughts. You know, I'm just trying to think of what I'm going to do next after this, because this series, like I say, has got maybe 6, 7 weeks in it. And then I need to work out where I'm going. I've got a few suggestions from you guys. I did put a poll out a while back. Not a poll out, a message a while back saying what do you guys recommend, and a couple of you put a few things in there. So I'm going to have a look, but feel free to keep adding to that list. I might not get to them all, or it might be a case of, you know, there's new, or even if there's new ones coming out that you want me to keep an eye on, potentially play when it comes out. Happy to do that. Happy to invest in the game and give it a go. I'll give anything a go, to be honest. So yeah, that's kind of the route I'm going. I just, so many things I would like to do without moving away too much from what we already do, because I don't want to change the channel dramatically. I like it. I like what it is. I do like it as it is. And but I do want to try get to at least the 1,000 subs. That would be really nice. I know we have reached the 500. We're past 500, so we obviously have our membership set up, and if anybody wants to help the channel out, feel free to join the channel. I think there's a really basic one set up for the moment. Hopefully not. Doesn't cost too much, but obviously we don't expect that from you guys. Subbing we're more than grateful for the sub. I mean, the sub, you know yourself, the subscription's free. So, more than grateful for the people who have joined the channel. So, JJ, John Hammond Jr. and Grilda, we are very appreciative. So, shout out to those amazing members who have joined us. And are supporting giving that little bit more to the channel, and it's great. But for those people who regularly comment on our videos as well, thank you so much for that. Because obviously that does help get the content out there, helps to get additional views. So, you know, big thank you to you guys who regularly do comment, and even for people who don't comment and you just watch the videos and you watch the videos all the way through, which also helps us, you know, big thank you to you. I mean, you'll fit into one of those groups probably, and so big thank you to each of you that does, because, you know, I don't do this for shits and giggles, I do this because I enjoy doing this. It's my way of... I like my little game and rant. I like... Do you know what one of my favourite things about this channel? It's like when you guys respond and you'll talk about, oh, have you seen this? And you'll give me a bit of, like, stuff like some of you have given me historical facts about various games, or when it first came out it did this, but now it does this, because I never got to see the games in those stages. So like it'll be fantastic to be like, oh, it originally had this, but then they took this out, and it's like, wow, really? Like there's almost like history to the game. Or, you know, for example, when somebody will be talking about the vessels that this game is based on, this, and they'll be like, well, for example, someone was talking about the Zeppelin, and they said, I think it was Death was talking about the Zeppelin, and they said, I don't understand why it's in the steamships, because it was from what their research suggested is it was oil based. It ran on oil, not steam. Now, don't know, not checked that fact out myself, so I'm not going to spout that as being 100% true. I don't know, not checked it. But if that is true, then that's absolutely fascinating. And it's like little things like those little historical bits that make me go, might go check it. Now, it doesn't mean it's that message only came in the other day, so I haven't had a chance to go and check it out. But my point being, usually when you give me a little bit of historical fact, I go and have a prod and see if I can find out whether it's true or not. And it kind of prods me to go and look at stuff and think about stuff, and I love that. I love the sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Intellectual stuff that you guys throw at us. I love that. It's great. It's nice, and that's kind of what I like about this. It's not just about ha 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 that was funny. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate the ha 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 that was funny comments too. I absolutely do. Because sometimes it's just nice to have whatever you've done be appreciated. But I also, you know, I like the interaction where you guys are, you know, that little bit of conversation. It's nice. I like it. Why can't gaming be considered intellectual? Of course it can. These games are all based on something. It's like when I watch a movie, I like my favourite after you watch a movie. I love a debate about a movie afterwards. I love after you've been to the cinema to watch a movie, sitting down and saying, oh, well, you know, do you think about this or what about this? Like, one of my favourite things is aftermath of what would happen in the real world after a horror movie. So, prime example, The Haunting with, like, Liam Neeson and that. I watched that again. Liam Neeson, Catherine Zeta-Jones. Who else is in it? Was it Owen Wilson? Someone's in it. Anyway, I remember, I remember watching that the other day. I've seen it so many times, but I remember watching it again the other day, and I was thinking, because obviously in the real world nobody believes in ghosts and all that, and I was thinking obviously this stuff happened. I was thinking, what would be the fallout from that movie? So what? Probably, well, Liam Neeson's career would be buggered, as in the psychiatrists, because he did an experiment that, because they're not going to believe them. No one's going to believe them that the ghost killed people, right? So there's going to be murder investigations. If it's found, they would probably rule it as just hysteria from the fact that he was conducting a fear study that they're going to say went too far. His reputation is going to be ruined. He might even be done for manslaughter charges. You get my point. Like, I love those kind of debates afterwards. Like, you know, and I know people go, it's a movie. You're thinking too much into it, and you're like, no, you're absolutely right. And the movie, watching the movie alone is entertainment factor enough. But this is what I talked about before, about how my brain doesn't stop. It doesn't shut down. It never does. So my brain's always looking for, you know, it doesn't just take the one little bit of entertainment you get. It then makes a whole level of more entertainment from that one little bit of entertainment. And yeah, this is how my brain works. And yeah, it's the kind of thing I like. I like a little bit of natter and stuff, and that's what I really like from this channel so far, you know? Working my way through this, I'm just trying to... as you can see, I'm just taking down some of the walls as I go, because I'm going to be dropping everything to this level anyway. So I'm just kind of, as I've emptied spaces, I'm just sort of dismantling the rooms to make it go. that is the beauty of the internet. I mean, the internet is managed to answer for a lot of very bad things as well, like false information and absolute crap. But in general, like the ability to bring like-minded people together, you know, it's the beauty of it. I mean, when I was a kid, I had a pen pal in France, and you know, and you would have to write to them, and it's snail mail or air mail or whatever, and then you'd have to wait for a month for a reply, and you know, it was, yeah. And now you can just talk to anyone from anywhere. I mean, I have good friends in Denmark, and you know, here's the difference: is that if they'd been my friends 20, 30 years ago. Well, actually, they were my friends 20 years ago. But you know what I mean? Very different worlds. Not even more than 20 years ago. So say 30 years ago, because obviously internet sort of kicked off properly. I mean, I think it's 80s, 70s, 80s, and then it kind of really blew up in the 90s. But you know what I mean? Like, so you get my point, though. It would have been a very different world than what it is now. And, you know, now it's just a case of there's a text message. Even then, even like the cost of like, remember how much text message used to cost you on your phone? You know, and now it's just almost automatic that they're just part of your package deal. It's unlimited. You know, remember what's when you used to get 500, you got 500 texts a month or something. Am I just really old, or does anybody else remember that? Like, and that was in the heyday of mobile phones. We're not even talking, you know, like when it was really, really early of mobile phones where you didn't even have that stuff. You couldn't even text, it was just a phone call. But yeah. The world is, the way technology has allowed you to stay so connected. I mean, I've got family all over the world. I've got a load out in Australia, New Zealand and stuff. And the ability to just reach out to my cousin, like, in America, and say, you know, hey cuz, you know, and just the ability to do that. Like, if you've got a question about something, I've got a very, very talented cousin out in, I think he's in Oz. Is he in Oz or is he in New Zealand? I think he's in Oz. And he's like a digital graphical designer, and he works on like animation and animation for TV shows and stuff. And it's, oh yeah, no, he's so talented. And he has his own, actually he does have his own, I think he's got is it Twitch channel he's got? Let me see. I think it's let me see if I can find what his Twitch channel's name is, and you should go take a look at it. Spidey NZ, so he must be in New Zealand. Spidey NZ, so SPIDEY in capital A and capital Z. And he does, he's an animator from New Zealand, and he does animation. So he does it for a living, but he also does stuff at request on and it, you know what? See, the stuff he does is so amazing, like so amazing. And that's what I mean, like the ability to, you know, if you think about all those years ago, a family member all the way over in New Zealand, you wouldn't have been able to really contact them. As now, like if I have requests for stuff for the channel or whatever, and I'm looking for some advice or whatever in terms of, you know, that kind of stuff, I can just drop them a message online, and it's like, you know, it's just like that's the beauty of it, isn't it? And I will say, so as much as it's given us some real bad things, the ability to just reach out to people and stay in touch with people. I mean, American Bex and myself are, I mean, to be fair, American Bex is based in Britain these days, but if she ever was to return to the States, like, I mean, we're from two entirely different parts of the world. And yes, we met because, you know, through a mutual, through my brother, she came over here to study and stuff. But the thing is this is like, makes you think it's like, you know, like if she was to go home, we could stay in touch. And you just think that, you know, having multinational friends was a harder thing to do. And that's the beauty of it, is the world has opened up, hasn't it? It's really opened up. But at the same time, the amount of crap and, you know, that is in the world now. And the fact that people don't double check anything, they just come across the first sight and go, oh, it must be true, instead of actually fact checking. Like I said, that's why I said, well, what, you know, this is what a viewer said, and I said, but I haven't had a chance to check it yet, so I can't say it's gold, you know, these kind of things, you know, you get it, this is what I mean, unless you've checked it yourself. And then, there's not just that, the amount of rise of scams have gone through the roof, and we know they have, because, you know, phishing scams, and, or like, you know, shopping scams where you order something and they send you something else so they can see that they delivered it because it's by recorded delivery, but in fact they haven't, and then they shut down and move on, so you can't get them done. And then there's all sorts that goes on in the real world now, so that it has given rise to some pretty crap things, but that ability to just be connected is amazing, and that is one of the things I love about this channel, is your voices and your thoughts, and, you know, just that connection with, like, because I do waffle, okay? I waffle, guys. I know I waffle. I talk crap, right? I do talk crap. But the fact that you guys sit and listen to me talk crap and then have things to say on that, I love that. It's like a long distant conversation in the sense of, but only a couple of days, you know, and yeah, and it's nice because I feel like you can reach out, not always, but often, to people who enjoy the same games as you, who think the same way as you. Not always, but some of them. And yeah, and I like that. That's the part of it I like. I like the familiarity of all of that. I think that's nice. I think, yeah. I don't know if that's how you guys feel about stuff, but that is sort of how I feel about things. To try to get these staircases out. At some point, we'll maybe show our faces. I mean, one of the reasons we decided to not show our faces, it's not all, I mean, part of it is, you know, when you're first starting out, there's nervousness and self-consciousness, so there is part of that to it. Especially for me, I'm a little bit older than American Bex and that, so I think for me there is that level of, you know, but I think it's more a case of, a huge part of it was me, you know, and I have no problem with female gamers who do it, and good for you. You've got the confidence, absolutely. You know, you rock that, baby girl. Go for it. I think for me, I wanted people to focus on the content and not on me. Now, I'm not saying I'm worthy of being focused on, so please don't take that as me sounding big-headed. I do not mean it to sound like that. And do you know what? Some of the gamer girls out there are absolutely breathtaking, and if it gets them extra views and they're happy to do that, you know what? Why not? I will not, you know, if you got it, flaunt it. I don't have a problem with that. Yeah, I really don't. Me personally, it's not what I wanted, and yeah, because you know, we all, as ladies, we all know how to do that. None of us say we don't. We do. We all know how to do that. We all know how to play that little game. And I didn't want to do that. It doesn't mean that I won't at some point show my face, but and eventually will. But for the moment, this is where my focus is more on the content. And yeah, it's just, I suppose it's just the way I see it. Who knows, if we get to 1,000 subs, maybe I'll agree to show my face, who knows. But yeah, it's not one of those things. The channel was never meant to be about me. Meant to be about having fun, and that was always meant to be about the point. It wasn't about, you know, oh, look at me. It was never meant to be about that. Now, I'm not saying because you put your face on camera, that is what you're doing. That I'm 100% not saying that. So please do not take that as that opinion. That is not what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with people who do that. A lot of people do. It's just not my thing. But that's probably more of a confidence thing for me. And I think with time, that will change. requires me to brush my hair more often, and that's, I mean, I don't know about anyone else, but that's like effort, man. I like just being able to throw my hair back in a clip and walk around, don't it? Say that, I do, my hair is down past my butt. I have very, very long hair. I get a lot of comments on my hair, actually, because I think these days to have hair that long is... And it's all natural, it's not extensions. I do think it's very unusual to have hair as long as mine these days. And so I get a lot of comments on my hair, actually. But, yeah, it's... I think it's more that I don't feel the need. There's a confidence issue in it. I'm not going to say there's not, but I also don't feel the need to put my face out there. Now, again, that is not a dig at people who do it, but I don't feel like I need to. Like, it's not what I'm about. That's never been me. I've never been that kind of person. And again, if you have it, flaunt it. Hey, you know, sweetie pie, I have no problem with that, my dear. Do you know what? Good for you. Good for you for having that confidence, and good for you for being, you know, for feeling that secure in yourself. And I think that's an amazing thing to be, especially in this world where men and women are judged on those things. And unfairly so, because beauty really is in the eye of the beholder. I think I've never been a particularly girly girl, and I think that's not about not having the looks for it. It's about the women in my family, and it's quite funny actually, because my sister's quite girly. She's quite a girly girl, and I remember my mum saying once, she was like, I don't know where she got it from, because it wasn't from me. And not in a dig, like, not that she had a problem with my sister being girly, but just like, the women in our family, you know, very career-driven women, and it's just, again, you can still be beautiful and have career and do all that. I'm not trying to stereotype here, guys. What I'm just saying is, you know, they were more interested in their careers than how much lipstick they were wearing, and yeah, and that's kind of always been the way I am. And whereas my sister was very much a girly girl, and I remember my mum was always like, I don't know where she gets it from, because she doesn't get it from me. And we used to laugh about it, and it's kind of funny, because, yeah, the older I get, the more kind of feminine I feel. Like, I was such a tomboy as a kid. Like, I was the kid you would find hanging upside down from the tree. I was the one that went out, and, you know, and if I wasn't out climbing a tree, I was in the library, my face buried in a book, you know. Whereas now I do, like, my hair is down past my butt, and periodically I do get my nails done, usually because my sister's been learning to do that, and I usually volunteer to be the guinea pig, because, you know, everyone's got to learn if they're doing it, and I don't mind her doing that. Yeah. This is a nice big room. Look at it. It's gorgeous. No, so at some point I might do that, but that will be a long way off. I think that's something I think the channel's gonna have to earn, in the sense of, because it's not really me. And so I think yeah, it would be a case of, you know, maybe getting to 1,000 or 10,000 or something like that, if we're ever so blessed. I'm not gonna say that, you know, because at the end of the day, there's lots of gaming channels out there, and yeah, I'm loving the looks of this. This is gorgeous. Sorry, like, my mind is going about 7 different directions right now. Yeah, beautiful looking room. I'm really liking this one. There's something about this ship that is resonating with me. This, to me, is the kind of ship I feel like I was expecting to take apart. This feels more correct. I don't know why, it just does. I think it's harder though, when you do have a channel and you don't put your face out there. I think a lot of people aren't interested in faceless channels, and I understand that. I do understand the part of that. It's never bothered me. Quite a lot of the gaming channels that I do follow, just sort of like the review games and stuff, they don't have their faces on them. As do a lot of the movie ones that I watch. I like following a lot of the movie. Like I quite like a lot of the movie ones that are talking about movies and have movie theories and things like that. And yeah, because movies is probably one of the other big things I do when I'm not gaming. So that between that and painting, so I do a lot of crafty things. So yeah, like I don't have a prop, but then that's maybe my various tisms, the facial contracts and stuff. Like I can't watch I don't do well with ASMR channels that look directly at the camera. It freaks me out. So my ASMR, I can have somebody on screen for the ASMR, as long as they're not looking directly at the screen. With a few exceptions, like female ASMR, I'm pretty good with, especially when she does her individual ones. But that's because a lot of the time she's not looking directly into the camera, she's looking just past the camera. More like you would get in a movie, which kind of works for me. Whereas when you get ASMRs who stare down the camera screen, it kind of freaks me out a little bit. And I think so that's maybe why I prefer the faceless channels, because I don't feel, and like a lot of like, so like when I'm watching like Jacksepticeye, because yes, he'll look at the camera on occasion, but most of the time he's looking at his screen and the camera's to the side of him, so he's not staring. I mean, periodically he'll turn and talk into the camera, but the majority of the time he's not. So I'm okay with that. But yes, when you've got people that just stare at the camera, again, that's fine if that's what your channel is, because there will be people out there who like that. There will be people out there who prefer ASMR, that want you to feel like you're talking directly to them. So 100%, like there are people of every, it's eye of the beholder stuff, isn't it? It's the same like the beauty thing. Everybody likes a different thing, That's what gets me with beauty standards. Like the amount of times, you could put a range of 6 different women up and ask guys to say what their favourite is, or the opposite, 6 guys and ask women, and or men who ask about men, because it depends on your sexuality. Let's not get into that, but you get my point. It doesn't matter whatever your comparison is, and as long as you usually say that nobody else will know the results, people are more likely to be free and say what they think. Whereas you tend to find if people think they're being judged on their opinion, they will go with what they think the beauty standard is. So they'll pick the one that fits the beauty standard. Whereas when they don't, they pick all over the range. Some of them pick, the different body shapes, different body weights, different facial features. Whether it be gaunt or more filled. And that's what gets me, is that really is true about beauty being in the eye of the beholder. Because the truth is, there is no such thing as a set beauty, because what attracts you to a person is so many different things. And I think that works with gaming channels and things too. So beauty is not the only place where that works. I think everybody has different things that they like when they're watching YouTube. Even me, I go through phases. Like I've got channels that I've subscribed to that I won't watch for a couple of months because for whatever reason they're just bugging me at that point. Or it's like, particularly with ASMR, I can't, the sounds, like those particular sounds are grating on me at the moment. But then in 2 months' time, they could be the kind of sounds I'm craving. So I'll go back to watching that particular channel again. And I think, and it's the same with like some of the gaming channels. Like there's certain ones that I watch that I'll watch because I really enjoy, but then I'll not watch them for months because they irk me a little bit. And I think everyone's the same. You kind of go through waves of what you're liking and not. But I mean, yeah, you often come back round to it, but. So I think the theory that one fits all is crap. On channels. On like, that's what gets me when people are like, oh, here's what you've got to do to make your channel work. And you're like, no, because somebody's either already doing that and then all you're doing is mimicking it, or you've got to add. I personally, for me, I want to add a bit of me And that's kind of what I like about this. It's kind of like what I like about how I do this. I feel like there's a little bit of me here. That's the whole point. It's a little bit of me. I'm doing it my way. And yeah, that doesn't make us a big channel. It's not got a lot of flash stuff. It's not, you know, I'm not doing crap for dramatic effect. I'm not intentionally putting myself in doing stupid stuff to get attention. I'm not interested in that. That's not me. Because I don't need that attention. That's not how it works. Don't get me wrong, I understand it makes the channel grow. But then you're putting on a persona and you're not being me. And I really hope one of the things that you guys do feel is that I am genuine, because that I feel like I'm just being me. And that's what I like about this, is I feel like, and if I ever have to feel like I have to put on a fake persona, I don't want to do it. I'm not playing a part, I'm being me. This is me. All this waffling is me. It's do you know what it is? It's my brain. It's kind of like, this is the way my brain is. It just kind of wanders continuously all day, every night. Like, hence why I never sleep. My brain is always turning. And but this is me, and I've always hoped that not just that, like the friendship between me and American Bex, that's genuine. We're best friends. We are best friends in real life. And, you know, that's what we've always said, is that we always hope that comes through in the channel, because it is true. We are best friends in real life and have been for a good number of years now. Yeah. I mean, Andian really is my brother. That's real. And then the other friends that join us, Mimic, and Davinoid and stuff, they're genuine friends. They're real friends as well. They're not, you know, that's not fake gaming buddies. They're all real friendships that exist outside of the online space. You know, it's all real. They're all, and that's, I think that for me is something that I have, you know, that's what I want. It's the realness. I want a bit of normality as well. Like, I fluff up while playing games. I mess up so bad sometimes. And this is it. Like, I get really annoyed sometimes with the gaming channels because it gets done perfectly. They play the game perfectly, or they'll do this, and they make it look like, you know, oh, you should have been able to do this easily all the way through. And I get really annoyed with that, because I'm like, I don't know about you. I don't know many gamers who play a game perfectly every single time when they first start playing a game. Most of us, do you hell? Like, with the exception of maybe our friend Zarjan who plays with us, I have never met a person who is so good at frickin' gaming. That guy, my god, like, any game he plays, he masters in the space of like a few. It's. I'd say it disgusts me, but it doesn't. It disgusts me in the fact that I'm not as good as him. That's what I say. I'm envious rather than disgusted. I'm envious. I'm so envious that he can do that. But do you know what? It's amazing. It's amazing that he can do that. Like, oh yeah, absolutely envious. But it's just amazing that he can. I've never, I mean, it gets me. Like, we'll be playing a game and it'll be like, it'll take me hours and I'll have maybe gotten somewhere, and he'll have played it for 5 minutes and be like 20 levels higher than me and master 6 of the skill sets. To be like, oh, you just need to do this. And you're like, oh, don't kill him. Don't kill him. It's not his fault. He's just really, really good at stuff. His brain works that way. That's the way his brain works. It's incredible to watch. Like, that's why I say I'm jealous. Like, I'm not. I'm so jealous that he can do that. But it's incredible to watch. Like, oh, well, I wouldn't give to have my brain work as good as that. Like, and I don't consider myself stupid. I'm not Einstein. I'm not even going to pretend to be that intelligent. But yeah, like, it amazes me when you see some of the stuff that you can do, you know. But no, I think I've always hoped that's where this channel was that you guys would feel. I'm on a weird rant today, guys. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know where my brain set is today. I think I'm feeling very ponderous and thoughtful today. Very self-reflective. So apologies. That's where my brain is today, is self-reflective. I think that's a bad place to be. I think it's good to self-reflect periodically. I think it helps that my feet are toasty and warm right now on the heated footstool, and that's kind of sending me into sort of zone mode. I've been waffling at you guys for like an hour. So if you've made it this far, I'm so impressed. Like, good for you. If you haven't just switched me off and been like, yeah, no, I can't take that today. And if you have, you know what? Fair play to you. Who does sort of the overdramatic stuff, like throwing yourself off a chair when you get spooked and stuff like that, right? There's nothing wrong with that content. There's nothing wrong with being an entertainer. I'm not going to stand here and be like, because you know what? The world needs entertainers as well. You need that too. There'll be somebody out there who loves that kind of content. They love the overdramatic entertainment. That's the kind of movies they like too. You know, there's. I would never say anyone, unless you're spreading misinformation. I don't have a problem with anyone because there will be viewers for that kind of content. I'm not talking about misinformation. I mean, as in like that kind of thing. It's just not me. I'm not an actor. I'm not a performer. Not in that sense. So, don't get me wrong. I did enjoy that stuff when I was a kid. Like, I did theatre and stuff. But it's not... Yeah, not really me as I'm older. I do too much sensible. I don't do very well at letting go and just running with it. To be fair, American Bex brings that out in me more. And, I think that's, but your bestie does, right? Your bestie does bring out, and my siblings do as well. Like, you'll probably find when Undyne's playing with us, and any of my other siblings join us, I tend to maybe be a bit more playful. Like, I know when me and the siblings get together, we can be a bit playful. And I think that's it. I think because they bring out the kid that you were, but that's what your bestie does. Either your bestie either tames you because you're wild, or lets you release the wild bit because you're tame. And I think they're always kind of the opposite opposing effect in a good way. Obviously, you know, but, and I think that's it. I think it's weird. I think both me and American Bex are quite reserved, but then when we're together, we tend to do stupid stuff. And I think it's like my sister. When I think of my sister and her best friend, very business orientated women, very reserved, very sensible, smart, educated women. But when they're together, they are an absolute riot, and it's so funny. And I think that's the beauty of a best friend. But no, I think every viewer will have different things that they like for channels. And I think that is the beauty of like places like YouTube. There's you'll find something. I think the sad thing about it is that people go into it thinking they're going to make a career out of it. And don't get me wrong, like if the channel did well and I was able to do it as a full-time job, would I be upset by that? No. Of course I would, you know, who wouldn't want to do games and video editing. I love the video editing aspect. I love the playing with the software. We talked about this in the last videos. I love the learning of the new software and learning new skills, and it's all been a learning point, and I really enjoy that. But at the same time, there is negativity that does come with it. I mean, you're not people who feel that it's because you're online, they have the right to say nasty things to you. And that's fair. I'm very much, my mum always taught me, can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all, and that's very much the way I believe. So I'm not interested in crapping on anybody else. It doesn't do anything for me. I don't enjoy it. Don't get anything from it. I'm not interested in crapping on other people. So, you know. Yeah, so there are downsides to it. Plus, it's a lot of time. There's a lot of time. It takes It's a lot of time, a lot of personal effort, and no financial income from it really. But you know what? It's not about that. It's the love of doing it. I do it because I enjoy doing it. At the moment, I wouldn't say it's more than a hobby. A hobby doesn't take up as much time as this does for me. But it's definitely something that I feel helps me grow, and it's helping me grow as a person. And like I say, whether it be learning to deal with negative comments, or you know, learning new softwares, or better techniques of, you know, helping me manage to not swear as often, although that goes out the window when we're playing anything scary. Yeah, and or educational from a point of view of when you guys leave me lovely comments that are based on historical information, and which either usually means I have to go look up myself to confirm, which I find fascinating. Kind of pushes me to go and do a bit of research, which I kind of like. I kind of like that. I feel challenged by you guys to go and check things, and that's a good thing. I think that's a great thing. That's expanding my knowledge base. You know, I think there's some great parts to this. So I would say it's a hobby, but it's also more than a hobby. It's like a learning tool almost. With a bit of, you know, it's still fun. I mean, I'm getting to play games and video it. Now, it's not the same as when you play a game on your own, and anyone who says it is, they're talking out their butthole. I would not talk this much when playing a game. You would sit down with something else on in the background, either a YouTube channel or a movie, or like last night, what was I watching last night? Event Horizon? I think I had Event Horizon on, and I was playing, what was I playing last night? Oh, the original Power Wash Simulator was what I was playing last night, with Event Horizon on in the background. I know, one calming game with a horror movie on, but hey, welcome to my brain. I do love my horror movies. So yeah, definitely. I can't believe I waffled at you guys for like an hour. I'm so sorry. I normally would waffle a bit and then pause and then do other bits, but now I'm just like, nah, I'm just gonna keep waffling. Feel free to tell me to shut up. That's fine. It's fine. I won't take offense. There's not many things that I take offense at, to be fair. I feel judged, but I won't take offense. Do you know what I might do? I might go down and finish searching the rooms, and then I can finish dropping walls. So let's do that. Let's continue on down some of the clear out, and then I can empty the rooms. I can drop the rooms and skip the video a bit for you guys, because otherwise this is going to take me another hour to do. Right, so that's more. This looks like just mostly rooms on this level, to be honest. I mean, we've already done the big sort of dining room at the far end. This is a problem. See, when I stop talking and I actually just talk about the game, I seem to lose the ability to English, whereas when I'm waffling myself, I'm fine. It's because I am thinking about what I'm saying when I'm waffling, but I'm also not at the same time, whereas I'm specifically thinking about what I want to say when I'm talking about, specifically about what I'm looking at. If anybody else's brain does that. Like, you can talk really easily one way, but when you try to do a different thing, it kind of, your brain just goes, no. Don't be silly. Why would we be useful that way? Well, I don't seem to be having any major problems like after putting the graphics back up. So it definitely was the something on the Zeppelin causing me chaos. I think this was where I was, actually. Yeah, I was about here, wasn't I? I think I've done this bit. Yeah, I've done beyond here. Not done the bathrooms. Some videos I'll waffle more than others. I think it just depends on my headset. Like I said, I'm in a very reflective space today, so I'm kind of waffling a lot. So again, my apologies, but where my brain is today. And it is who I am. So I'm not, you know, I'm not going to pretend it's not who I am. So again, these bits. Yeah, I think I've done... Alright, let's continue knocking this crap down. Right, so I might jump ahead, guys, a bit for you, but I'm going to finish taking down these walls so we can try drop all these floors. Alright, so I've kind of taken down the majority of the walls. There is a few things still kicking around and I need to go and I need to bring down those 2 walls to drop everything. Plus, I think... Do I need to separate sides? I might need to separate some sides up there. We will see. But what you can see now that I've taken these out is the stacks that are in there. And you can see, like, how much space they actually take up. They're pretty big. Obviously, it's the steam release, fume release. Smokestacks for the engines, but yeah, I mean they are in there, you can see them. So let's get the next layer of them out. Obviously the final cut I think is down there, so I'm not gonna be able to get them out just yet, but we can get this layer out at least. Let's get the first one off. Yeah, that can go, and then we can go through, do these ones. Well, have I not released it? No, I have released it. What's this one above? I thought for a minute I hadn't released that one above. I was a bit like, oopsies. And then this one is already gone because the back of the ship was damaged already, so you can see like the whole back of the ship is already missing. So yeah, what I will do is finish taking down these walls before we go and take down the walls that are potentially holding everything up. I have a suspicion I might need to cut away some of the sides of the ship, but we will see. Not 100% sure. The better part of about 40 minutes from when I stopped waffling at you to get to this stage, so it's I mean it's not been 2 minutes. It's taken me a fair whack to bring all of this down, but I'm really enjoying it. I mean, it's a really nice looking thing. Take in this side. Too much. Let's go. That bit's cut. And on the other side. This bit is not. See, I don't know. That seems to go across, so I'm a little confused. And then I've cut that piece. Because I thought this was deck level, but technically maybe it was the piece above. I don't know. Let's... I'm not sure when I do this if everything's going to drop, because I suspect the sides still need to be cut. Sorry, as I was saying, guys, my dog went nuts. Not sure why. Probably because I think it was the bin men doing the collecting the recycle bins for the week. Well, recycle bin, it rotates. As to which recycle bin, but yeah. Alright. Oh! Helped to put my headset back on, didn't it? Right. Dear Lord. Right, okay, I'm not collecting all the lamps. I'm not going through all of that. So... It's just this last piece, but I actually suspect... Yeah, see, look, when you do this, see this? I think this needs to... So let's look at this first, shall we? I think I need to go along here and release these floor panels. So let's do that, right? I'm going to have to take the walls down for the up to the first panel. So up to here, like running along here. And then I need to drop out this. So let's go ahead and do that, shall we? I might go to the other end and start at the other end, actually, because I need to be able to run back and forth. Let's do that. That's a really wise idea, actually. Do I need to go up another panel? That's the bigger one, right? That's the bigger question. Get me out so I can have a look. No, it's just... I think it's just one, right? Let's go up and up. Let's go. Oh, maybe. I might need to... I don't know. I don't know if this is... Where's this panel? Do you know what? I'm going to take the roof out first. I'm going to do it up here first and then... Because I think the roof needs to come off. So... Yeah, alright. Let's work through cutting down this side. Let's go. Alright, let's go. So that bit moved, and the other pieces already pulled out as well. So I didn't have to release the side pieces, I just had to do the floor pieces, which is what I was suspecting. Now, all I can pray is when I drop it, those side pieces will also fall, but knowing my luck, probably not. We'll see. So let's jump up and over and go pull them. There's a lot of stuff that's fallen down that I haven't picked up, but that's okay. I'm not overly stressing that this time. You can see how we get more. Why are these pieces so close to the front? Normally we don't pull so close to the front. Normally they're like way back there. That made me pip a brick. I mean, we're only going to be dropping to that bit, right? And it shows you how much there's still to go. Like, it doesn't feel like that. It feels like we've done tons of this ship, but in fact, all we've done is the upper floors. We've not even done anywhere close to what is in this vessel, which is madness. But in a good way. In a kind of good way, though. It's a good madness. It's like, whoa. Like, I will say that. Like, I do feel like I will give the Zeppelin its dues as much as it wasn't my favourite. It had a lot to it. So if you're someone who doesn't really care about how long it takes you, then yeah, it would have been really good from that perspective. And I know, you know, it was one viewer said it's one of their favourites. Not for me. And I think combination of, I'm not really big on anything that's war based. I'm not pure. It's not pure like it's not like a hatred for anything specific. It's more. I've never been particularly interested in that genre, and I don't mean. Obviously, history is important, and it's not. I don't care. That's not the same thing. I just like. I'm not big on like. I don't watch like a lot of war movies, and that does not. Whereas this, and again, not from any kind of love story or anything like that, but historical context. This to me is more interesting from a historical context. But that's just me personally. That's a me personally thing. It's not a yeah. That's all it is. It's like some people, it's like different genres of games. Some people don't like watching horror. Some people are not big on, you know, comedy movies. You know, everyone has the things that they like and don't like. And I'm just not particularly interested in anything that is, you know, particularly the World War genres. I'm not interested in them. I think they're important to know historically. Yes, yes, I think that's important. But in terms of, oh, look at that, it's definitely the side that's holding it up, like. But I think in terms of from a genre perspective, I'm not that interested. Like Saving Private Ryan and all, I'm not interested really, to be honest, guys. It's not. I don't enjoy them. There's maybe it is because of the sadness and the connotations around all of it, that, you know, it's such a sad thing. And I think maybe it could be that. Maybe that's why I don't know. I couldn't tell you what it is. I just know it's not my cup of tea. Right, so we need to rinse and repeat on this side, so let's go. Do you know what maybe it is? I always found them, I don't know, like, so my grandfather did serve during, I think it was World War II. I'm not sure it's World War II or both of them. I think it's just World War II, in the Navy. But every time he would go in, he would have like war movies and stuff on, and I think as a child, they were always on when I'd go to my grandparents' house, and I found them as a child. I found them really, really boring, because as a kid, you don't understand. You don't understand. And I think the problem is, it's like that, you know, that kind of muscle memory concept that, you know, like I still, like, as a child, like, Watcher in the Woods and Watership Down scared the crap out of me. And even just thinking about them makes all the hairs down the back of my neck stand up. Now, I'm not scared of them as an adult at all. You know, but as a child, there's like a muscle memory there of the fear you feel as a child. And I think the war genre stuff, it's like muscle memory of being bored. And I mean that purely from when I was a child's perspective, because obviously it's an important topic. So I'm purely meaning muscle memory from when I was a kid. And I think, you know, and I think that's part of it, if that makes any weird kind of sense. Like, yeah, I think that's why. I think as soon as you put them on, my brain goes, oh, watch this. Because the amount of times you would go round and you would have something on and you would just, you know, and you'd be like, no. Like The Last Bridge Standing and stuff like that, or whatever. You know, yeah, no, it was always my memories, and it was always, not all, that's not true. He probably didn't have them on all the time. But as a kid, that's how things seem. And it could be that they just happened to be on and he wasn't specifically watching them, but it was that's what was on Sunday TV or something, you know, some old black and white movie. Yeah, but that is sort of my memory of it, and it was like, ugh. And I think, unfortunately, that is kind of, so it's the same as having the muscle memory of being frightened as a child. I have the muscle memory of that genre boring the crap out of me as a kid. Because I just wanted to watch cartoons, man. You know, I just wanted to watch cartoons. And no, when we stayed at my grandma's, no, And that was on instead because it was his TV and he got to watch what he wanted when I went to my grandparents, which is fair. It's his TV. It's like now, like when the kids come over and, you know, to be fair, I don't really watch TV, so I stick the kids. If the kids want to watch the TV, I'm probably not watching anything on it, so that's fine. Don't really ever put my TV on. I can't remember the last time I put my TV on. You know, it's one of those things, isn't it? I don't know why I threw that in that direction. So I think that's what it is. I think for me, it's like, even though I know some of the stuff out there is not boring, it's fascinating. And I've watched a few documentaries. I think I can watch the documentaries more than I can watch the films. But I think the genre in general just triggers, it just triggers my childhood muscle memory of, oh, I don't want to do this. And that sounds really bad because it's a really important subject. But so it's not, I don't mean it to say that it's boring. That's not what I'm trying to say, guys. What I'm trying to say is it's muscle memory from childhood. The same way things that scare you as a kid still make the hairs in the back of your neck stand up now. Same principle, except mine is from a boredom perspective. Because as a kid you don't understand and you don't appreciate and you don't, yeah. I think I also found, it's also, we studied it at school, in high school. And they did it in a way that didn't make you really want to pay attention. It was a very poorly done curriculum from that subject in history, and yeah, it did not fascinate you. You know, it didn't give any, I don't know anyone in the class who was like, oh, this is actually quite interesting, which with some of the other historical stuff was interesting. It was just the way they did it, and I think, yeah, it just ended up being dull, and I don't think it kind of inspired any kind of interest. So it didn't break, because that would have been the way to break that kind of childhood muscle memory, and unfortunately the school failed to do so because they failed to make the curriculum around that interesting. Let's hope I didn't bork this. Overload! Overload! Look at it, overload! It's because there's like 4 floors falling right now or something. 5 floors maybe. Oh, I'm not seeing heavy element destroyed. Oh my god! Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Oh, dog just nudged my hand and the mouse. That is some impressive destruction. Oh, look at the wibbles. Oh, the wibbly wobblies. That is satisfying. They're all falling over one at a time. Oh, that was good fun. Let's go along here and pick up some pieces. I don't know whether I want to just use the magnet, but part of me is like, I don't think I want to. I don't want to remove what's beneath because I still want to see what it is. I don't know if I want to. Yeah, I don't know. It's a lot of cleanup to do though. A lot of cleanup to do. It's taken me a good few hours to get to this. I mean, I thought after I did all that work the other day, oh, it'll only take me like half an hour to an hour to bring it all down. It has taken me to get to this stage like a good couple of hours. And that literally was, well, I suppose part of it I did do a search through, didn't I? I did an hour to do the last search. It took me an hour to kind of clear the last and start cutting down the last the last level, didn't it? So it's still taking me the better part of what, an hour and a half or something to bring down all of the floors that I spent clearing, you know, the last couple of days clearing. The last time I recorded clearing. I'm gonna throw that down there rather than fight with it. So what I want to do is get this cleared off, and then I'm going to go drop these, because it's going to make throwing to the... All that stuff down there. It's going to make throwing to the truck easier. Might move the truck along a little bit. Makes it easier to throw, because we're kind of only from about there forward, right? Right. What I might do... jump down here. Where the truck is from here. There, and clear some of this up. Before we go forward and clean up the stairs. I think I kind of want to get a bit of down here cleaned up, so it's looking a bit more presentable. This is where I'm tempted to use the magnet, because I feel like you could use the magnet out here, because it's not going to steal anything, or it shouldn't steal anything from inside. So let's... I'm just trying to get a little bit of organizing done here. I feel like I made a bit of a mess while doing the other floors, but I can't believe, I mean, we still got, I mean, we've only brought it down to that point, right? Look at all the floors we still got to do. I mean, I feel like this is probably going to be as long. Now, like I said before, I personally do think you don't need to have super long vessels. I think if you are going to have a super long one, it has to be one that interests you or catches your interest, because that, again, we saw that with the Zeppelin. It didn't interest me that much, so I just found the length of it tedious. Now, if you really enjoy the vessel, as some of you will have done with that one, then you will enjoy doing it no matter how long it is. Like, I'm enjoying this one. This one is long. It's taken me a long time just to get to this stage, but I'm enjoying it, so it doesn't bother me that it's this long. I think it's one of those games that it's really about how much you're enjoying it, and as long as you're enjoying it, then it doesn't seem to take that long. You know, well, it's the old time, you know, time flies when you're having fun, isn't it? Kind of scenario. So as long as you're enjoying yourself, you don't mind that it takes a long time, because in a sense you're getting, because you're enjoying it. You're enjoying the fact that it's taking longer. The enjoyment is lasting. If that makes any logical sense. I honestly thought that was gonna brick, but it managed to last it. It managed to do it. It took a couple of minutes to calculate the physics drop, but it did it. That shows you there's definitely something wrong with the Zeppelin, because I didn't drop that many floors on the Zeppelins at any given time. I mean, I dropped like 5 floors all the way along there, and 3 or 4, maybe 4 floors, but I definitely dropped a whack of floors all the way along there, and it did it on high settings, whereas I was on not even. I was at custom settings. It was medium, and with stuff reduced from medium. So I started with the medium setting and then reduced it for the Zeppelin. And so it wasn't quite low, but it was that, and it was struggling to do it. Whereas this one, it's not been a problem. It's done it, even on high settings. So it shows without. I mean, yeah, it had the lag spike as it did it, but overall the game itself is not juttering, or at least. And I'm hoping my actual recording hasn't either. I haven't looked at that, but well, I've kept an eye on it, but I haven't seen it say it's struggling. So yeah, that makes me think there was. I agree with the viewers' comments. The hell did that come from, Becky? User. Viewers' comments that it's that specific ship, which I'm kind of partially inclined to believe, actually. I'm wondering if it's something to do with like all the big plane elements and stuff that are on it, because there's a lot of heavy, you know, different heavy elements on it. So maybe there's a lot of different pieces, and that maybe that's what's causing the issues. Because there was a lot of new heavy element pieces. There was a couple of old standard ones, but the majority of the heavy element pieces on that one were different, ones that we hadn't seen before. So I think I'm going to place bets it's the physics connected to the heavy elements. Got all this cleanup to go. This is probably going to take me the better part of half an hour. So I will let me leave this to me, guys, and I'll get back to you. Alright, that is the majority cleared off. Obviously, there will be stuff that's fallen down and in between, like down there and stuff, and there'll be a load that's fallen down the big gap, but obviously I'll get to them when I get to them. That's... I can't believe it's taken me as long as it has to clear that. Where's that box? There it is. Okay. So it's taken me a bit to get it cleared. I think it was about 20 minutes it's taken, which is not too bad, but that's because I wasn't using the magnet. But yeah, so we're now down to... Ooh, hi. Let's get... Is that part of it? There we go. Yeah, so we're now down to this level here. I think if we're having a look down, I think we've got about 2 levels before we get down to this area-esque. 2 to 3 levels. I'm just going to click some of this up that's fallen down here since I've fallen down anyway. Yeah. Which is going to be interesting because I don't know how many... I don't know where the heavy elements and stuff starts. It looks like there's at least another layer of rooms. Which is fine. But we wanted to start this because to start releasing walls, we needed to obviously bring to this level, which is what we wanted. So I don't know how to do this going forward. I'm gonna need to think about this, because it looks like there's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 levels, and that's to that. Now I don't know if there's something under that. I suspect that's about right, and that's maybe the bottom right there. There's obviously other stuff like here. So, you know, this is... So I'm not sure what some of this will be. I don't know how I want to handle this, like whether I want to take the front off now. Like, is this what we normally do? We normally drop to the deck and then start going back to front. Front to back, sorry. That's usually what I do. Because at that point then you do it in sections, but I don't know. I don't know how I want to handle this. I need to think it through, to be honest. So much stuff has fallen down between the cracks. There's excuse me for hiccuping. There's definitely another... Let's have a look. It's another level. Yeah, so this is another row. So there's 2 more levels of bedrooms, and then after that, I think is when we hit storage. So I think what I want to do is clear the 2 levels and then drop to this level. That is maybe what I'm thinking, because there'll be less walls at this level. So this is where my brain is sitting. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think that's what I might do, is drop 2 more levels the way I like to do it. And then from there, maybe drop... Don't know. I'm trying to decide... Because we're gonna get to the stage now that we're not gonna be able to throw easily to the... Basically, that's what it's about. I'm not going to be able to throw easily to the truck now. So going forward in sections might be an idea, but what I might do is cut off the front section and park it up, and then I can clear as I go and just run straight to the front and throw it in, because I'm not going to be able to throw over. And then once I've collapsed it, another couple of... That's what I'm thinking. That's... I'm thinking that might be the best way to handle this. It is the difficulty. Is that the best way to handle it? I think it is. I think that would be what I would normally do, so I think that might be the best way to do it. Anyway. Let's let this get out, and then we can move to the front and start processing this. Yeah, well, one of the first things I need to do is probably cut off the top level to separate the sides so that going down, like, yeah. Alright. Alright. It's okay. I'm just trying to decide what's next because, like we said, the issue we've got is that we're now at the stage where the walls are going to block throwing to the truck each time I go. So what I think I might do is release the top here for each side, and then I'm going to start at the front and try release the front and then work backwards, because that's tend to be what I do. I bring it down to sort of this level and then we go back. It's usually what I do. So let's do that. So let's start by releasing the walls so that they're not going to hold. Oh. So they're not going to hold it up when we drop the next couple of levels. Okay, so that's me drop the sides. I've just had a thought, right? I'm wondering if we nip the sides while it drop away, and then that might resolve the issue. So let's have a look. Let's clear a bit of this out first. Looks like it was some kind of storage space at the front. More storage spaces. Right, so let's... It's my favourite sound of the game. Right, let's get stuff up here. Might be a bit of back and forth while we're getting to them. Right, so where's that cut point? Right here, right? So I'm just going to jump straight down for that. No, it didn't. Okay, so it didn't move, so that means the piece goes, yeah, it goes further down. So the answer to that is no, that's not going to resolve it. So let's do what I said I was going to do. Let's move forward a section at a time. So I think the first section is back to here. That's okay, we'll sort that out. Okay, so we cleared up to there. This looks like this was sort of luggage storage and other things. Trunk storage. Valuable sections, maybe? Right. What's that say? Life jackets. Okay, interesting. That bit towards the front done. So what's in here? Some kind of seating gallery? That's kind of weird. Do you know what I'm going to do? This is do my nut in. That. What do we think this space was? Just seating? It's a bit, I don't know. Benches and tables. But it's further down, so not maybe for the wealthier, for the less wealthy classes, do we think, maybe? I don't know. I'm never sure because you don't know what they're basing these on, like whether they're based on actual schematics or who knows, you know? Let's finish clearing this. I don't need to keep going forward at this point. I'm just going to do this bit till I can drop the front section. Oh, look at that. Heavy elements. Interesting. Let's get those bad boys out. Okay, up. Up, up, up. because I can. Because it bugs me. There we go. Didn't need to do that, but it was just bugging me, so I decided to... Right, let's see what we've got in here. Right, so can we get these out then? It's interesting to know. This is why you need to be sure, because like I would never have guessed that there was going to be heavy elements this early. I mean, I knew we had the bit in the middle. We had the big stacks in the middle. I knew was going to be... they were going to be heavy elements, but I didn't think we were going to have additional heavy elements on these levels. So that makes it even more interesting, really, in the sense of what else is going to be here, really. Okay, I'm gonna have to remove these as well. Okay. Alright, let's pop this. Oh, nope, I missed that one. Come on. Yeah, I saw some quarter pieces as I was going there, so they're all going to need to come out. Looks like there's, whoa, more heavy elements on the next level as well, which is interesting. Complaining about the quarter pieces because at the end of the day it could be worse. It could have been all the damn pieces and it's not. So let's see, that goes, so it goes to there. So I don't know if we need to cut this piece to get it out, but we'll see. Let's have a look. I don't think we do. I think that's the piece below. I think it's, I don't know what's holding this piece on then, because this maybe. Yeah, there you go. Definitely what was holding that on. It's interesting, isn't it? That every ship has got slightly different. Sometimes the half pieces have double layers and you have to work through both layers. Sometimes the half pieces don't. In this case, it looks like most of them are doublers except for the quarter pieces. And to be fair, not complaining because it's better than having to do the whole thing. So that's not a complaint. It's not even close to a complaint, to be honest, guys. So I'm just trying to knock the first bits at the front out so we can move the truck, and then we can think about what we're doing next, really. Why is that up there? Did I miss last time? Alright. I think there's heavy elements down here, so I'm going to knock this roof off as well. And then there's a quarter piece here. And here that's probably holding this side on. Yeah, there you go. Right. So let's get out and go and deal with these. I think that's what's really needing to be on the list, is bringing down the front section. Don't know. I'm just back and forth as to what I think's the best way to do it. I just don't know. This tactic has worked for me in the past, so I don't know if this is just the best way now that we brought it all down to a set level that now requires the sides coming off. Maybe it is time to start moving forward through the middle. That's what I usually tend to do, isn't it? So that would make sense to keep up with that pattern. Okay, so let's let's not do that. Right. Let's go. Let's move the truck back a bit, shall we? Let's go get that box. That for some reason has decided to take a holiday all the way down here. Who knows? Who knows? So much stuff just floating around. I'm just like, yeah, no. So you're getting out of me right now is, yeah, well. I saw that. Where's that box? There it is. Okay. Oh! That bad aim. So what's this? Some kind of room with lots of bunks? Okay. And receiving. And receiving. Right, so this looks like, yeah, this looks like this is lower level bedding. Okay. I have to say, I think we had 2 layers of sort of rooms to go. But this looks like this is a mix of rooms and starting to see heavy elements. So that's certainly going to be a bit more interesting, because now it means that I can't just sort of bomb through it, because I now need to be aware that there's heavy elements on this stage. I mean, to be fair, I did take my time with the last couple of levels to make sure that they were empty, but I can't just be like, screw it and let's go. So let's round here. What would these have been? Anchor chain? The anchor chains, maybe? Can we get these out? Right, where are you? Up there. Okay. More storage at the front along with the anchor chain. I think they were the things to hold the anchor chains. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's what it looked like to me. Who knows? It's interesting. I mean, like, I'm quite curious as to what... I have always been curious with this game as to what I think each piece is. Like, I genuinely am curious. Like, oh, I think that's the anchor chain, or I wonder if that would have been, you know, because it's supposed to be based on actual ships, right? So, but like, oh, was that the bridge? Would that have been the communications array? Would that have been, you know, like, what's that piece of equipment or that asset graphically meant to be representing? And I find it quite interesting. So, but I imagine there's a lot of people who play the game who don't care. They're just like, I just want to take it apart, boom, boom, boom. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You don't have to really be that interested in it. It's like I was saying before, I'm very much just, I'm very curious to learn and understand. So for me, I think I am curious as to what it was. I think that's, and it would be interesting to know if other people are as well. Like, I know, one of the viewers had said that it did inspire them to go and actually research each of the vessels one by one, and I think that's brilliant. I think that's the fact that a game inspired you to go and you know, educate yourself on something is amazing. And to be honest, if I had more time in my life, I would love to be able to do that. I'd love to go and do a bit more research into some of the ships. I unfortunately just don't have as much time in my hands at the moment to do any of that. But I think, you know, I am curious, like, what each piece is meant to represent. You know, is it meant to represent the anchor chain? You know, is it meant to represent the steam engine? Is it meant to represent the communications equipment? Or if it's the warships, the radar equipment or the sonar equipment, or the, you know what I mean? Like, there's. I'm always curious. I always wonder what it's meant to represent. I don't know if anybody else feels that way. Like, are they curious? Are any of you guys curious about what the piece is meant to represent? Not because it doesn't look like it. I don't mean like that. I don't mean it as an insult to the developers. I mean purely as in from an aspect of what would be on the ship and how the ship would have been designed, and if they were using historical blueprints, either based on pictures they could find or actual architectural schematics. I don't know, would you call a building an architectural well, a building's an architectural schematic, but is a ship an architectural schematic, or is that an engineer schematic? It would be an engineering schematic, right? A vessel would be an engineering schematic, not an architectural one, because an architectural one would be a building one. Sorry guys, I'm going over weird and random tangents again. Yeah. I think it would be an engineering one, I think. Don't assume I'm right. Please do not assume I'm right. It's like I've said before, anything I say on here, please always fact check, because I'm not somebody who always believes they're right. I know I'm a flawed human being, and I do get things wrong, and I'm aware of that. So if you ever look something up and go, no, that's not quite right, it's this, I'm not ever going to take offense to that, guys. But, well, depending on how you say it, I'm not going to take offense to that, guys, because there's nothing wrong with going, actually, no, I looked into it and it's this or this. You know, I'm not somebody who needs to be right, so it can be refreshing to have your system of knowledge corrected and or challenged. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't think any of us should ever assume. Because even if you're a leading expert in something, well, I'm so not in any of these. I don't think I'm a leading expert in anything. But you know what I mean. Sometimes just because you haven't looked at something from a certain angle, and I mean, a prime example would that look at how science has evolved. You know, you had all these experts who thought this was the end all and be all, or this is correct, and then another scientist came along and went, actually, if you thought about this, and it changes it entirely, and it turns out the other one was right, but not all the way. There was something in it that was slightly different, or slightly, you know, and yeah, that's how knowledge works. You know, the moment you start assuming you know everything, you buggered yourself, really. Let's be honest. It's important to know what you know and when you don't know something. Very important for that, to know that. I've always argued that's what makes good leaders good leaders. Isn't the ability to do the job of everyone beneath them. It's to know what they need to get the best out of those jobs. It's like I've always argued a good FD isn't the person who's necessarily the best at bookkeeping, but knows who they need to hire or what they need to recognise the talent of somebody who does know, and make sure that they're in each of the right places to ensure that the financial books are done and correct. You know, like an operations director isn't the person who knows how every single piece of equipment runs. And don't get me wrong, if they do know that, great. But I think you can't know everything. Nobody can. And a really good leader knows what they know and what they don't know, but knows how to get the knowledge and or the right person who does know what they need. That's the way I've always viewed it. Again, that may not be your view, and maybe not be your take on those things, but it's definitely my take on those things. So got more storage down here. This looks like this kind of what we're getting to. There's some rooms, some storage. I don't know if that's gonna... No, I think that's gonna get in the way, isn't it? Which means we can't drop this level without taking another layer back. Okay. So let's... We're gonna have to do that here. That's okay. Not a big deal. That's why it's sometimes better to just knock things back an extra layer anyway. Lots of storage. Let's get you out. Okay. I'm gonna knock this down. Not because I need to knock all the walls down going forward. It's more because I'm going to drop this front piece and then move backwards. So I want a nice clear front to get the bottom out. So saving mid-throw, woohoo! I was in the process of bringing that down, but got somewhat distracted halfway through. That never happens to me, guys, does it? Ever? No, I never start one thing and then go off and do something else entirely, ever. Come on. You said that? No, I didn't do that. I don't know what you're talking about. I've never done that. Come on. Let's drop this back. Oh, that side went. This side won't because there's a 4-piece here, I think. Yeah, there you go, holding it all. Love it. That one little 4-piece was like, nope, nope, I'm going to stand here till the end of time and make me work harder. Right, so let's go pull these pieces now. I don't have to, I mean, I'm not going to do this as slow as this with each of the sides. I just want to do this with the first bit to make sure that I'm not fighting with it. Bugger that. Oh, come on. Screw it, let's go that way. That still didn't work. Truck's in the way. Wrong side, Becky. We're not in Britain anymore. Do you know, I remember when I started playing this game and I wasn't sure. Like, when I looked at it online and I thought, I don't know if this is going to be... I've done a few Demolish games and I thought, I don't know if this is going to be the right game for me. I don't know if it's going to tick all the boxes for me that I like, things that and you know, weirdly, from the moment I started playing, I was like, yeah, I like this. This is scratching an itch that some of the other Demolition games have not scratched for me. As did Hard Space, actually. I was quite astonished that I really liked Hard Space Shipbreaker because I'm not I'm not a massive space nerdy game person. Like, I don't, not necessarily obsessed with, say, sci-fi as a whole. I don't mind it. It's just not necessarily 100% my thing. Sci-fi is definitely more American-based than me. I don't dislike it. Like, I mean, the sci-fi elements of, what was that one we played? Split Fiction. Were beautiful and fantastic. And there's some great, I quite like watching certain sci-fi things. But I normally wouldn't go out my way for kind of space games. They're not, I mean, I'm not talking about space on another planet like Planet Crafter where you're doing, that's different. I know they are sci-fi because you're on another planet, but they don't, the game itself is not based around sci-fi concepts. It's based around terraformation and things, or building, or logistics, or yeah, that's slightly different. They're in a sci-fi setting, but they're not really sci-fi games. And I would say the same with Hard Space. You're in a sci-fi setting, but you're doing a demolition game in a sci-fi setting. Well, that's essentially how I see it. And yeah, that is how I see it. And I think that's the difference. Is I don't mind games so much that are sci-fi settings, but I'm not as keen on playing games that are pure just sci-fi games, like Cyberpunk, for example. I like watching it. Or was it Death Stranding, something like that it was called. Again, I really liked, there's a friend of mine who does Twitch as well, Damonoid. Go look up his channel on Twitch if you're a Twitch person and you like other gamers. He does some pretty good stuff, and he does a lot of this sort of sci-fi games. And they're just not my cup of tea, but I really enjoy watching them. Like, I do enjoy watching them quite a bit, but they're just not. And yet people were like, well, what do you call zombie apocalypses? And I'm like, I call that horror. I don't call that sci-fi. But I can see the argument that they would be sci-fi, maybe. You know, if you know what I mean. I can see the argument for that. I can see why people would say, no, they're sci-fi. There's an element of that, I think. But, yeah. Right, I think we need to knock away the floor again. See how much of this gets stuck. There we go. Okay, and this next level, which is where that big slice is, in the side of the vessel, which is interesting. You can see there's less and less floors as we go down, which is kind of what I want to do. I want to be able to get the ship to the front, so I can kind of run through and so I can run back and forth like I did before and drop things into it easily. So I'm going forward to drop them off rather than trying to fight to get them over the side. And then, yeah, and then I can drop them when there's less levels. Yeah, might make it easier. Although I still will need to cut away from the sides. But that's part of it. It's always been part of it. Right. I don't think there's a cut piece here because of this tear. Or the break in the hull, should we say. Not really a crack, it's a tear, I suppose. Slice, tear, I think they call it a tear in the hull, break in the hull. I don't know what they are, yeah. I love getting the terminology right. I do love, like, the thought of, is it this? Is it this? I'm just not knowledgeable in this subject, and I think, but I also the reason I do like to ask you guys, because it's nice to talk to somebody who potentially has the knowledge. You know, to ask somebody who does have the knowledge. I think it's, you know. I thought that was a graphical glitch there, and then I realised it's not. It's the slices. It's all moved. It's this the part of it's all moved. That threw me for a split second. I was like, eh? There we go. Oh, oh. Bad tape to save. Bad tape to save. Now, let me out then. There we go. Apparently I had the ability to meld with the metal. It's quite a trick. Apparently I'm turning into one of the X-Men. Okay. Maybe that can explain why he can carry unlimited loads and crazy and throw really heavy weights magically over the side that no other human being could realistically throw that level. Maybe that's it. Maybe he's secretly a mutant. Oh, that's it. We've answered the question. We now know. Up here. This is where I'm going to find out the bottom layer doesn't come off until like 2 levels back, and I'll be like, ah!
Hello, क्या हाल है?
Oh no, look!
कोई बात नहीं.
Didn't mean to be on the crane element. I do apologise. To the gentleman in the warehouse, I apologise profusely. Crane operator who I just pissed off.
मैं जल्दी वहाँ आऊँगा. हम संपर्क में रहेंगे.
Right. And with the top layers down and the front taken off, this is where we are going to leave this part, guys. Hopefully you are enjoying the series, and we'll see you in the next one. Enjoy.